my name is Jeremy, and I'm gonna do a little science experiment with hearts, little candy hearts, and some liquid. We're gonna estimate which liquids we think are gonna float, which liquids we think the candy hearts will float in, or which ones will sink, and then we'll test it out and see what happens. So we have, the first one is Waterloo. Just a regular lime Waterloo can. We're gonna we'll pull a heart out of one of these bags. So here's the heart. So you think this tiny little, probably not even an ounce maybe. But we're gonna see. We're gonna guess if it's gonna float or sink. So I guess it's gonna float because the bubbles, air pockets that are going up might keep it up. Like, we'll test it out. And it worked. Yes, it has worked. See? So I guess what happened was it fell down in the liquid, but then the air pocket, the bubbles, pushed it up. So that's what that one did. So now we're gonna move on to our next liquid, water. So there's no air bubbles in there, so it might not float because the air bubbles aren't in there to push it up. And no, it did not. Well, what it actually did was it just sat in there. So I'm thinking what happened was, because there was no, so this is basically just lime water with bubbles in it. So the bubbles, I'm thinking the bubbles pushed it up, but there's no bubbles in here, so it just sank. It didn't get pushed up because there were no bubbles to float it. So that can actually prove to us that the bubbles in the water over there helped it go up. So we have our sinked candy. Now we're gonna move on to the next liquid, corn syrup. So I mean, it's not completely corn syrup, but it has corn syrup in it. So we're just gonna, yeah. So it usually with syrup, you might not get the exact kind of syrup you want. Just gotta try to get a syrup. So we're gonna put a little heart in there now, and wow. Well, I think we should have already all known this, but it floated, and I think the reason it floated is because the syrup is so sticky and thick to where it can't make its way through to the bottom. So there is that's for that one. So we're gonna move to the next liquid, vinegar. So we've done 3 out of 4. So we have our last one, vinegar. Just white wine vinegar. Well, it's not pure vinegar, but it's still titled vinegar, so this is what I'm using. All right, now I don't got much of it, so this might not work well as you might plan it. Yep. I don't know if I had hardly even enough to do this. We might have to. We might have to sub a different one. Let's see. So, even though we don't have barely any vinegar in there, I mean, we still had enough for it to sink underwater. So it it's sunk. So I guess from it sinking, it sinked, and that's probably, I don't know. Maybe it's the same situation with the water. I mean, this isn't really a bubbly drink, so I don't think anyone would drink vinegar. So, yeah, that's that. All right, so out of all of our experiments we did with the heart candies, we did the Waterloo, the water, the syrup, and the stinky vinegar. I tried all those out, and I don't know if you remember, but the Waterloo, it floated. The water sunk. It sunk. The heart sunk in the water. The heart and the syrup, it stayed on the top because the syrup. Remember, the syrup's too thick for it to go through. And then vinegar just sunk. Then yeah, so that was a fun experiment. Hope you join me again for another fun video about how stuff works. Please press like and make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.